Hi, so this will be a short video just demonstrating how you can add MemMachine into your LangChain or LangGraph workflow. So to start off, MemMachine is an open source memory layer that supports different AI agents, but essentially it will act as kind of the middleware layer between user and agent. Everything that you want the agent to remember about the user or the context history within that workflow, you could just send it to MemMachine. And before you use the agent to respond to the user, you can have MemMachine search through all its memories and return the relevant context. So here I have the MemMachine website. If you click on Docs, this Docs page has the quick start guide to help you just set up MemMachine and get started in that sense. Scroll down a little bit, you see the integrations tab. Here we have the LangChain and LangGraph tabs where you can learn how to set everything up. Over here, I have the GitHub site for MemMachine. If you go into integrations, and then here we see LangChain and LangGraph, that'll bring us to this folder right here and this folder right here. If we go into the LangChain folder, we have one memory example. So this example just demonstrates how you can integrate MemMachine into LangChain. This is a very simple demonstration. One important thing is when you define your memory, you essentially have to define these different fields. Base URL is the URL for your MemMachine instance. If you go with default, it'll be localhost 8080. ID is the top level isolation parameter. You can think of it as a way to partition your information. For example, if you're hosting something for different teams, they can all be its own org ID. Project ID is a second layer of isolation filtering, just another way to partition. User ID, pretty self-explanatory. Agent ID is on, for example, a CRM agent or like a chatbot agent, you can partition using agent ID. And then session ID is just within that exact session. Search limit will define the number of different memory store. And then over here, let's take a look at the LangGraph demo. So this is the default demo in the repo. This isn't actually integrated with LangGraph. It just demonstrates how you can use MemMachine tools to work within the actual workflow. That's why I made this. This isn't in the repo, but this is a small demo file I made to demonstrate how you can integrate with LangGraph, right? So the first step is you want to have your MemMachine running. You can do this using /memmachine pose.sh. So this command you see at the bottom, it's essentially a start script. So it'll create a configuration file for you if you don't have one already, and basically start up Postgres, Neo4j, and then MemMachine. I already ran it, so I'm not going to run it here. Yeah, so as you can see in the top here, I have imported LangChain OpenAI and LangGraph, LangChain Core, and MemMachine Client tools. So we're going to use LangChain OpenAI here just to complete the LM calls, and everything else will be orchestrated using LangGraph. Here again, you see I have the tools defined. This is just a simple default demo org, demo project, Alice chatbot, demo session. Yeah, and then if we go down here, I have recall. Recall essentially calls the machine to return the relevant information. Respond is using the context to respond to the user. Store will essentially add the user message into the MemMachine backend. Here we actually define the graph. As you can see, I have recall, response, store here as my nodes, and then the edges pretty self-explanatory as well. So in this workflow, I just want to test to see if MemMachine is working within this orchestrated workflow. So I have a couple just test messages that will be sent in one by one via these turns. So what we see here is, hi, my name is Alice. I'm a software engineer. And then a short description on the project that they're working on. And then this, what do you remember about me? We're expecting to see something about, name is Alice, you're an engineer, and then working on some project, and then suggest next steps. This is also just prompting to see if the LLM is using MemMachine to actually return the information. So let's just run it real quick. Python integrations. So here we see the first message is being sent in, then let's see. Okay, and then here we see the AI message. Hi Alice, it's clear to me. We sent in the project about the RAG pipeline and Postgres. And then here's the first instance where we're prompting to see if it's using MemMachine to remember anything. User, what do you remember about me? The AI responds, your name is Alice, you're a software engineer. You mentioned that currently building a RAG pipeline, which is correct. And then can you suggest a next step for the project I'm working on? See, the AI responds, since you're building a RAG, yada, 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 a good next step. Yeah, so this is pretty much what we'd expect. If we didn't have MemMachine here, we would expect it to essentially say, I don't remember anything about you. So it's good that we see this. Yeah. Obviously, this is a very simple workflow, but this is just to demonstrate MemMachine working within some LangChain, LangGraph workflow. You could definitely take this a step further and actually turn this into a loop to make it a working chatbot. Yeah. And then for everything else, you can refer back to the docs to see how to integrate with LangChain and LangGraph.